ladder.
Where'd Tosca go?
Yeah.
She's off. Okay.
She can just put her heels on.
Oh, I took them off so because okay, never mind.
Someone,
I can put them back on.
yeah, something. Can you get something for her? Stand like a chair or something? Come on in, come on up. Remember where you were in line. Come on up. Closer. There's a whole empty space right
Line,
here.
we're still in the back of the line.
We all love each other. We'll be nice.
Everybody wore deodorant today. It's all right.
Come on up.
Theory.
So this is Oklahoma City.
I should have worn my t-shirt.
So it wasn't too windy today, but it was nice and warm and hot. Does it get this hot all the time?
Yes. Yes.
This is cooler than last summer.
It's cooler than last summer. You know, I kind of feel like I'm back home because so many of you have read. How many of you have read books going way, like say, 10 or more books? Raise your hands. Wow, a lot. Cool. This is Tosca Lee.
As it should be.
Anyway, this is our last stop on this tour, and this is the best place to be for the last stop. It's a fairly short tour, but we've had a whirlwind. We've had beautiful people showing up at each city, and this is a Sovereign tour. And in the Sovereign tour, we take this incredible journey. And let me just give you a quick pitch. Well, actually, why don't you tell them what Sovereign, not Sovereign, but the whole Books of Mortals and Sovereign is about, real quick.
Books of Mortals. How many guys have you read Forbidden?
Quite
And
a few, a
Mortal.
lot.
Okay, so you guys kind of know. So this is. Can you hear me? This is a series set 500 years in the future. Would you stop it?
Just testing.
500 years in the future, and the whole world is dead. They've been genetically stripped of their humanity, including their emotions, except for one key emotion, and that is fear. And we wanted to really explore, what is it like to make all the decisions that we make out of fear. How many of us make decisions every single day based on fear? I better not do this because this could happen, or if I don't do this, this might happen. So I will do this because I'm worried about that. So it's really a story where fear reigns under the auspices of this government called the Order. And it's all about keeping these rules of the Order so that you can attain bliss someday. And one day, our main character, Rom, finds a vial of blood. You want me to tell this whole thing?
Oh, just,
They can read it,
just,
too.
You have to make them want to buy the books.
These books rock!
there we go, that's the end.
Yay!
Rom finds a vial of blood. He drinks part of the vial of blood, and he's the first human in 500 years to come back to life. And so he and his intrepid group of 5 friends, or 5 altogether, are on this mission to basically save the world. And the adventure continues in Mortal, and by the time you start Sovereign, things have gotten quite dire for our favorite people. And we're really proud of this book. This really brought everything home, kind of brought it all back, brought it in for landing, but before you come in for a landing, there's a lot of turbulence along the way. So lots of things that I don't think people will see coming. So we're really proud of this book. It was very near and dear to our hearts, and I hope that you guys will all enjoy it.
You know, absolutely, that's perfect. And you know, one of the things about this story that you guys, I think, will really resonate with you in particular. This is our story. We are people of faith. I assume most people in this room are people of faith. Yeah? But we discover, having quote, come alive, yeah? Forbidden is a story of coming into physical life. What's it mean to be human? Mortal is a story of stepping into a community of faith. Now you're, quote, saved, yeah? What that means, we're not sure yet. And then but the problem is, do you find that even as a person of faith, you never quite measure up. You're never quite good enough. You can never meet the expectations placed on you by your family, your parents, your church, your friends, and you never measure up. And in fact, if people knew who you really were or what you thought, they wouldn't accept you the way they do. Every one of us thinks this. We kind of live in this place. We're not so different than the people down the street who might be of a different faith or don't have faith at all. And we begin to wonder, now, what's so different about me? Why, except for some promise of a different life in the afterlife, what's different about me now? How come I'm not changed? Sovereign is that journey. One of the reasons why we got together in the first place is because we both explore things out of the box. How many of you know that most of my stories are out of the box? How many of you live out of the box? Everyone raise your hands. You didn't raise your hand, honey. I can tell you're out of the box. And into the circle. But we explore those questions, honest questions, vulnerable questions, authentic questions. And that's what really brings us together in this community. We want to know, what's it like to really be transformed? Not just having flipped the light switch or signed a particular thing that says, I am this, I am Christian, I am whatever. I belong to this church.
This prayer.
I said this prayer. What does being transformed really look like? This has been an obsession of mine my entire life, Tosca as well, and probably every one of you on one level or another. You're on that journey of transformation. Sovereign is the book of transformation. It brings it all around. And you know what? We didn't know how it would turn out. That's the coolest thing about writing these books together, is we didn't know. We asked the questions, not to teach, but to explore. So, you know, that's what Sovereign's all about. And it really is, in some ways, it's kind of a throwback to the Circle series, because the Circle series, right, explored our own redemptive history. How many of you here have read The Circle? Raise your hands. Okay, a lot of you. Okay, now here's another question. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Those of us who've all read The Circle, and this goes back, I know, to another series, but by the way, there are some Easter eggs and tie-ins. Let's see. How many here have seen the link in the Books of Mortals to the Circle series? Raise your hand. That means a lot of you have missed it, because it is absolutely there in Forbidden. That vial of blood. Okay? How many of you have read Forbidden? Raise your hands. Now, yeah. I haven't read it. Keep your hands raised. Everyone who's read Forbidden, raise your hands. Okay.
You?
Now, if you caught the reference to Thomas Hunter, yeah? Keep your hand raised. Everyone else, lower your hand. Okay. So that vial of blood is actually marked TH. That vial of blood is Thomas Hunter's blood from 500 years ago. That's the only link. Except for in Sovereign, there's one more link when you get to it. Isn't that cool? I mean, listen, it's a totally different story, but I love making those kinds of connections for us diehards, yeah? So, but the Circle, in the Circle we had this thing called the Forest Guard. And the Forest Guard were those, this goes way back, okay? All of you who are members of the Forest Guard at one time or another, raise your hand. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Remember your place in line. I want all of you that were part of the Forest Guard to come forward to the front. Everyone, I want just bear with me. You stay there. Leave a little bit of place here. Come forward. Let those Forest Guard come forward a sec. Everyone. This is going to be worth it. Trust me.
I think that it's...
The Forest Guard, if you don't know what it means, then you need to stay where you're at. Okay, now everyone who wasn't part of the Forest Guard, trust me, this is worth it. If you weren't part of the Forest Guard, take a step back so that we only have Forest Guard right here. We'll get to the signing really quickly, guys. Only Forest Guard right here. Everyone else, back off a little bit. Okay? Forest Guard, raise your hands. Okay, these are our commanders. These are the ones that for 10 years now have been marching with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you all. But probably the oldest member of the Forest Guard here, I mean, we share something that's very precious between all of us. We had ranks, right? We had lieutenants, captains. Who here was a general?
I'm Susan.
You're Susan. Of Southern?
Yes.
Are you Susan of Southern?
Yes, she was the one who married Phil.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh, no.
I think I actually wrote that. But were you Susan? Was your handle Susan of Southern? Okay, because there was one Forest Guard, Susan of Southern. That was her handle on the boards. And I thought you were her. I was like, oh my, you're okay. But okay, I love it. We have one general here, and he's probably the oldest member of us, if not the oldest, very close. And that would be Josh Olds. Now, Josh Olds has been a good friend. Everyone get Josh. Very cool. since he's been with us so long and has achieved such a high rank, I want him to share with you something near and dear and precious to his heart. Because in the Forest Guard, we celebrate this thing called the Great Romance. Everyone remember the Great Romance? Yes. And we live for the Great Romance. This general of the Great Romance has something. I'm putting you on the spot, I know. I know you're not prepared for this. I want you to come up and I want you to share something and tell them what's on your heart right now. Come on up here.
All right. Hi, my name's Josh. You probably got that from Ted. I have been a Ted Dekker fan for a very long time, for as long as I can remember. And in fact, there is so much of my life that having read Ted's books has changed. Both for how I think about the church, how I think about Christianity, it's really how I think about life in general. But more than that, Ted's books have put me into contact with a community of people, you guys that are here. And I look out here, I don't know a lot of you, but I do see a lot of familiar faces. I see a lot of people that I do know. People that wouldn't be my friends, people that I call my closest friends, that wouldn't be my friends if not for these books, and if not for that common thinking that binds us together. But beyond that, there's also one person who emerged out of that I fell in love with. And come up here, Kelsey. This is Kelsey. I have known her for the last 4 years, and for the last year and a half, she has been the love of my life. And for the past few months, she has been on me to do what I'm about to do right now. Kelsey Lears. Will you marry me?
Woo! Dad!
I told you to be worth the wait.
Well,
Do not drop that.
we have here a cake to celebrate this occasion. And it says congratulations, Josh and Kelsey.
Thank you.
I tell people that all of my stories are love stories, but this has got to take the cake. No pun intended. This is so beautiful, you know? Isn't this awesome? So we bless you, and the Forest Guard blesses you, and all of us together as a community, we bless you, and we wish you a very, very beautiful journey into this story called love that you will create together, that you will write on each other's hearts. Yay! That's amazing.
Well, that's a signing first.
So,
Congratulations, you guys.
congratulations. Well, with no further ado, Tosca and I have slaved over this, and we're so glad that you're going to be able to enjoy this story in 6 or 7 hours. What took us, what? It feels like 6 or 7 years to write.
It's like Thanksgiving dinner. You slave, and then it's demolished in 15 minutes.
In the end, it's all about love. And so, oh my gosh, there's nothing else I can possibly say. So anyway, all of you, congratulate them. Give them a